Hello students, welcome to Pathak's Computer Academy online classes. From today onwards, we will start the course Information Practices for class 11th for CBSE board. Okay, so here you can see that the syllabus of informatics practices. So there are basically 5 main units: introduction to computer system, introduction to Python, data handling using NumPy, database concepts, and then introduction to emerging trends. You all are aware about the introduction to computer system. They are nothing to talk about. I already discussed for in 9th class CBSE board. More or less, all the topics under unit 1 are same. So you can go through my YouTube channel, Pathak's Computer Academy, where you can see a playlist, Computer Applications CBSE Class 9. Here, there are 44 small video lectures in which the initials ones are related to introductory part of computer system. So here you can see that application of computer system, components of computer system, what is computer memory, RAM, ROM, secondary memory, types of optical disk, input-output devices, output devices, central processing units, software, and here the same syllabus is there. Components, input-output devices, memory, okay, softwares. So all these topics can be covered in 9th class syllabus itself. But still, for you, I am going to discuss introduction to computer and computing in a brief manner. Okay, so let's start. So today we will cover these portion: introduction to computer, how computer evaluated from the first generation to up to 5th generation, what are the main components of computer system, and after that we will discuss about CPU and their interconnection components, sorry, and at last we will see what are input and output devices. So as we all know that a computer is an electronic devices, and always I talked or asked to the students what is the difference between an electronic device and electric device. So the voltage greater than 110 volts are considered as electric devices. Those devices worked above 110 volts, such as your washing machine, your TV, all are working greater than 110 volts. But for electronic devices, they need less than 110 volts. Or you can say that a very small energy is needed. For example, for CPU, only 5 volt is needed. For memory, only 5 volt is needed. For motherboard, 12 volt is needed. Okay. Here I have given a link for my channel where you can see all the video lectures related to computer. So a computer is an electronic devices that receive some input from the input devices like keyboard, mouse, and then processing is to be done using CPU, whatever the instruction are given by the user. And based on that instructions, processing is done, and whatever the result that are provided as an output through various output devices like monitor, printers, fax, etc. So I think the definition of computer is very clear to you. Next, the evolution of computer means history of computer. How nowadays the capability of computer or laptop is very high, but in earlier days that type of processing is not available. So basically there are 5 generation of evolution. First generation is considered for vacuum tubes. Okay, and ENIAC, electronic numerical integrator and calculator, is an example of first generation computer. Afterward, 1959 to 1965 are considered as second generation due to the involvement of transistors. Vacuum tubes are replaced by transistors. And because of transistor, the computer size is got reduced considerably. After that, the third generation can be considered between 1966 to 1973, 74, 75. Because of the evolution of integrated circuits. You all know about ICs. Now, all the electronic devices are based on ICs. Many transistors, or millions of transistors, are inbuilt in a small single chip. And that a single chip is known as IC. Okay. With the invention of microprocessor in 1971, the fourth generation of computer evolution started. And present day computers are also categorized in this fourth generation computer because of various microprocessor are used in our computer systems. And at last, for the future or ongoing processing, the fifth generation computers are considered because of the principles that we are going to follow, known as AI, artificial intelligence, and NLP, natural language processing. Okay, all these are considered in fifth generation computer. So I hope now you are very aware about the evolution. First one is vacuum tube, second transistor, third integrated circuits, fourth one are microprocessor, and then fifth generation, which are going on nowadays. So move on further. Now I'm going to talk about components of computer system. Here you can see the figure. This is a very basic one. You all are continuously seeing this figure, that there is a one component known as input unit. Through input unit, data or instruction are entered into the computer, or you can say that CPU. And in CPU, processing is done, and after that, either the result is stored in a secondary memory storage devices, or the result is shown in various output units like monitor, printer, plotters, etc. And here you can see that in CPU, there are basically three main parts: memory unit, control unit, and ALU, arithmetic and logical unit, which are responsible for performing the calculation. Control unit is the brain of computer. You can say that because this unit is responsible for controlling all other parts of the computer like input unit, memory unit, ALU, output unit, secondary devices, etc. And memory unit is the unit which is considered as RAM, where your processing is actually executed. Okay, I am recording my lecture, so whatever the application I am using, like PowerPoint or Zoom application, all are open in random access memory. Clear? So this is the whole structure of your computer system. So I already discussed what is input devices. The unit which contains devices with the help of which we can enter data or instruction into the computer. That can be anything: keyboard, mouse, touch screen, OMR, OCR, light pen, scanner, and many more. The same thing for output unit. It consists of those devices which is used to get the information from the computer and shown to the user. That can be a monitor, LCD, plotters, and others. Now, the main important thing is CPU. So, I already told you that CPU is considered as a brain of the computer. It performs all types of data processing operations. It controls the operation of all other parts of the computer using CU, control unit. Data processing done by ALU. Okay? Clear? And then memory unit. Memory means the area where we can store our data, instruction, or intermediate results. And basically, it is formally known as random access memory. Now, control unit, again, it controls the operation of all other parts of the computer. ALU is divided into, again, two sections, as the name suggests: arithmetic section and logical section. Arithmetic, as the name suggests, again, you can perform all the mathematical operations, and logic section is used for performing any logic operations such as comparing, matching, okay, of the particular data. Now, this part is very important for 11th class students. Interconnection between functional components of computer system. I already discussed in previous slides that what are the components of computer system. Now, how they are interconnected? They are interconnected with some wires, and these wires are special ones, and that special wires are known as bus. Why bus? Because in layman, what you think about bus? Bus is a carrier through which we can travel from one part to another part of the place. The same logic is here. Whenever the data is to be transferred from one part of your computer system to another part of the computer system, then these buses are responsible. That's why they are mainly categorized into, again, three. What are these three? Control bus, again, the instruction related to controlling the part of computer system. Anything that the instruction is given to the printer that you have to print something, then this control bus instructed to the printer that you have to do this. Next one is address. This is related to memory unit, from where the operation is to be executed, from where the data is to be fetched, and where you want to store that data. All the instruction related to memory is carried out by address bus. And last one is data. As you know that whatever the input unit data is coming, data bus is responsible to travel that data from one part of the computer system to another part of the computer system. So here, all the definition I have written over here. Okay. So move on further. Next one is the input output devices. As we all know that a piece of hardware that are needed to use or enter data into a computer known as input devices, and those piece of hardware that are needed to show the result of the processed data are known as output devices. These are the differences, basic differences I have put on. First one is the definition. Second one, input devices are controlled by the users. Why? Because I am moving the mouse here and there. I am going to type something with the help of keyboard. That's why input devices are basically controlled by the user, while output devices are controlled by the computer. Why? Because whatever the process data, whatever the intermediate data or result is to be shown either in through the monitor or with the help of printer, you have to take the hard copy. That's why these devices are controlled by the computer itself. And these are the some examples of input devices, and the definition of these devices are already discussed in a very simple way in these video lectures. I will share these links in the description. Don't worry. So I'm not going to discuss what are keyboard, what is mouse. You all aware about that. Okay. So that's all for today. Today we will learn about the evolution of computing devices. After that, we learned about components of computer system and their interconnection. And at last, we see that what is input and output devices. In the next lecture, we will start computer memory in detail. Okay. So thank you so much.